Hello and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I am teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, once again, it's time for Famous Quotes class. This is the class which I hold once a week, in which we will look at quotes from someone famous, undoubtedly, and the class will discuss these quotes. So we'll practice our English summarizing and forming and supporting opinions. As always, I will do my best to clarify any cultural references, idiomatic language, or metaphorical vocabulary to help you out in understanding these quotes. No wrong answers. Quotes are quite often completely open to interpretation. So, don't be shy. Say what you think and practice. Give you a chance to practice more abstract English speaking. Okay. Let me start by welcoming some students. Serge, are you Serge, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Saw you come in and I'd leave, so worried about your connection. Anyway, Serge, where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you for joining the class. Alabek, where'd you go? Okay, anyway. Ibek. Oh, different.
Hello. Hello, do you listen me?
I hear you, yes. Hello.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Hi. Ibek, where are you from? Ibek.
From Kazakhstan. I'm from Kazakhstan.
Okay. Great. Welcome to the class. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Okay. And also Val has joined us. Hey there, Val.
Hello again.
Hello again. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Terrific. Nice to have you with us. Okay, for those who are viewing in Verbling, plenty of room in the class. Come on, jump in and join us. All right. Actually, before we get started, it's always, when you're considering the quotes and the intention of the author, it's always a good idea to have a little background about the author. Serge, you know who Lech Walesa is?
Yes, I know.
What do you know?
He's a Polish president. He was a Polish president, and he was a founder of how is it in English?
Solidarity? Is that...
Solidarity, yes.
Right.
Trade union. Oh, trade union.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. Excellent. Yes, Serge does know who he is. A former president of Poland, actually the first president when they basically gained independence again. And more importantly, he was a leader of the trade union Solidarity, which is how he got involved in politics. Absolutely. Okay. Ibek, is there anything else you know about Lech Walesa? That's all the basic stuff there. Do you know anything else about this person?
Actually, I don't know. I first time hear about him.
Okay. Val, are you familiar with Lech Walesa over there in Brazil?
I didn't know him at all, but I've researched a little bit on Wikipedia before the class, and
Okay.
he seems to be a human rights activist.
Yeah, okay. Human rights activist as well as philanthropist. Philanthropist is someone who donates a lot of money to human rights and human welfare organizations. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very good. Matthew has joined us. Matthew, hello.
Hey, Oakley. How are
Oh, hey. Oh,
you?
Matthew, good to. It's you. Okay. I'm good. How have you been?
It's me.
Yeah. Hey. Terrific.
I've been very well. Well,
Very
I would say that your TOEFL tests helps me a lot in my job. What I mean that a lesson that I've taken with you, like IELTS, TOEFL,
Mm.
lots of things I remember from what you said, like about academic English, how what is like the differentiation, how to write properly, like many words. So that helped me a lot.
Glad to. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear that. That's why I do it. I like to help people. Me and Lech Walesa, we're a lot alike.
Although I don't know anything about Lech Walesa, only I've heard I think a couple of times. That's all.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, thank you. It's good to have you back in class.
Thanks.
And I want to greet Max as well. Hey, Max.
Hello, Oakley. Hello, everyone.
Hi,
I'm
Max.
fine. And I
Great.
also don't know nothing about this guy.
Double negative, Max. Not I don't know nothing.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. Sorry.
That means you do know something. If you don't know nothing, you must therefore know something. Okay. All right. Not familiar with Lech Walesa? Okay. Well, Serge gave us the background pretty well, but okay. Danielle, welcome.
Hello again.
Hello again. Nice to have you in the class again. Danielle, do you know anything about Lech Walesa?
About what?
About Lech Walesa, the person whose quotes we're going to be looking at today.
Oh yes, I think it's president of Poland. Yes.
Former president. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. You guys, politician, trade union organizer, philanthropist, human rights activist. That's pretty much it. He, of note, it's worth knowing that he also won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1983. And yes, as you said, he was the president of Poland for 5 years, from 1990 to 1995. He still occasionally makes the newspapers, and he does things like speaking tours, and people hire him to speak at university graduations and things of that nature. He's still around. He's still alive. In fact, the whole reason I chose him as the subject of the class is there was something somebody did an interview with him, which I saw on the internet just a couple weeks ago when I was planning the class. So he's still out and about. He's still around. And anyway, he has some interesting things to say. So let's take a look. Now I'm going to screen share some of his quotes. You guys will take turns reading about it, and we'll discuss whether we agree or disagree with the quote, as well as interpreting what we think he's trying to say. So, Serge, I'm going to start with you. Okay, I have to say, should I be saying Sergey or Serge or?
Doesn't matter. Anyway.
Okay, doesn't matter. Well, how do you pronounce your own name? And I can do that.
In Russian, Sergey.
Sergey.
You can me call Serge.
Serge. Okay, because this is a common name, all through Russia. I mean, not just Russia, all through Europe. Spanish. I've met Spanish speakers with the same name. I never know how to pronounce it. It's Sergey, Serge, Sergey. Yeah. Anyway, I get confused. Okay, Serge it is. Can you read the first quote for me, please?
Okay. He who puts out his hand to stop the wheel of history will have his fingers crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Lech Walesa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Obviously, Lech here is using metaphor. He's using an analogy, obviously, of the wheel. What do you think he's trying to say, Serge?
Mm, to be honest, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you'll get some ideas that you want to share later. That's not a big deal. Okay. Let me ask Ibeck.
Probably he means that nobody can stop history. Probably nobody can wash history, and if someone will try, if someone would try to do that, he will be out, or he will have a problem, maybe like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely having your fingers crushed is an analogy for a problem. Yeah. I think so. Okay. That seems quite reasonable to me. Um, Val, how much do you agree or disagree with this?
Well, I agree with Ibeck. I guess what Lech is trying to say is that nobody can stop progress.
Yeah, that is precisely the word I was thinking of, and I wanted to see if another student would say it first. Exactly the word. There's a lot of quotes that use a less metaphorical or abstract idea, the wheel of history, and just say progress. There's no stopping progress. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Matthew, do you agree with that? Is it impossible to stop progress? Or?
Well, I was wondering who would do that, or um, who has done. Do you know any person like who tried to stop the progress?
Uh, well, well, kind of. Yeah. Well, for example, okay. For example, you know what? Yes and no. I have to qualify this answer. Because all the people that tried to stop progress, you don't know who they are because they're unknown in history. Nobody talks about them. They're forgotten rather quickly. But what comes to my mind, the first thing I think of, is, for example, the civil rights movement in the United States. Now, of course, we remember Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. But what we don't remember are the senators that tried to impede new laws, which there were plenty of. We don't remember the governors of Louisiana and the governor of Mississippi who tried to crush these new laws that allowed equal rights. You don't remember their names.
Okay, I got to your point. Like those people exist. So basically, we can deduct that in life there are not always only good, but bad as well, and that help us to see the good. That's my philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's true. So they have their. That's interesting. Meaning that even the people that try to impede progress or try to do bad things, they have a use.
Yeah, in
They have a
society.
use. Yeah. Okay.
So
That's
without them,
yeah.
we would not have had like Martin Luther King. He's the
Right. Okay. All right. There would be no Superman without Lex Luthor.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. That's interesting. I like that a lot, actually. Okay. Max. Max, anything
Yeah.
to add to this?
Before wall, I'm not sure. Wall, it's correct name I pronounce.
Yeah.
Sorry if it's not correct. Before wall brought up German progress, I thought about it like just about history, and I wanted to say something, another phrase like history is written by winners, and
Okay. History is written by the
is
winner.
written by, yeah, and
Right.
I agree and don't agree this quote some kind of
Well,
about progress. What I can say about progress, I I think I agree, because nowadays we live in time when it happens. I mean about oil and oil industry and new energy, some kind of yeah, I think a lot of people trying to stop progress, stop the wheel of history, and of course they will have his fingers crushed sometime.
Okay, I hope so. Okay, I want to comment on your redundant introduction there, which is you're actually it's not redundant. I'm sorry, wrong word. You asked what I can say about history or something. This is normal to use this kind of as a gives you time to think, and it's kind of an introduction, but it's a little bit reversed. What can I say about progress in
Okay.
history? Okay, it's normal. This is it is kind of redundant because you're not really saying anything. You're just stalling for time. But we do use this in English. It's quite practical. What can I say about long-eared rabbits? Whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. But okay. A rhetorical question. That's what I was trying to think of. Okay. Basically, he's asking himself a question. Just sort of stall as a hesitation technique in English. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But okay. Anyway, Danielle. Danielle,
Question.
Yes.
any last thoughts about this before we move on?
Can we continue? Because
We
I
can.
don't understand. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. This next one's kind of interesting just for the vocabulary. All right, well, let's take a look. Danielle, can you go ahead and read this for me?
Yes. I will talk and act not on my knees, but with prudence.
Uh-huh. Okay. Any idea, Danielle, what he means by this?
Last one word. What does it mean? Prudence.
Prudence.
Prudence. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hard to explain. I knew you would ask, but okay, with prudence, with care, being careful. If you're prudent, if you act prudently, okay, if you are prudent, that is the adjective. Prudently is the adverb, and with prudence here, obviously, prepositional phrase, it's the noun, but all word forms mean the same thing. With care, but it's more than just care, thoughtful care. With not just being careful like in a physical way, but in a more mental, abstract way, being careful. Okay, with forethought, I might say. Okay, think carefully. So I will talk and act not on my knees, but I will talk and act very carefully, more or less. So, Danielle, okay, let me before we get into other meanings, let me talk about this middle clause here. Not on my knees. In English speaking, this is a very well-known sort of connotations, kind of an idea we use a lot in English. What does that mean? Someone is on their knees. I mean abstractly, metaphorically. You know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Demon grow, not demon, not grow. Yes.
Well, I don't. I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't think so. Let me. First of all, let me welcome another person to the class. Hello, new person whose name I always forget because you have that. Hello, D drum. Who is? What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. It's Ever.
Ever. Oh, Ever. Hi,
Yeah, Ever. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Okay. Hi, Ever. How are you today?
Well, I'm fine today. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Thanks.
Okay.
What is in English when we talk about someone being on their knees? What does that mean, Eber?
On my knees. I will take not on my knees. When you know, I don't know. I know the means, but sorry, I know the mean, but I don't give you an example. I don't know.
Okay.
Like oppressed.
Yeah, that's closer to it.
Humiliated.
Subjugated, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Degraded.
Like when
Possible
when
to show
Without
submission to
degrading.
Yes. Subjugated, like if someone is subjugated, they're basically, doesn't have to mean actually as a slave, but you know, for all practical purposes, as a slave, right? Hey Bear, instead of I don't give an example, I can't give an example.
Okay.
Okay. Crawl, well, yeah, crawling, okay. Well, okay, that's a different, related, hey Bear. We also have a concept in English which appears in several forms of crawling on your knees. When we talk about crawling on our knees in English, we're talking about begging for forgiveness. So on your knees can mean, especially crawling on my knees, or you're invoking the concept of begging for forgiveness.
Okay.
Okay, but there's also this other idea, like Matthew said, about being subjugated, being subordinate to the wish or the will of others.
Okay.
You're under them, fully under their control is the idea, which, like, subjugated. So, all right. Well, that being said, Sasha is with us. Hi, Sasha.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Sasha, I'm going to throw you right in. I don't know if you're ready or not, but what is Lech Walesa trying to say here?
I don't. I don't know, really. Don't know.
Okay.
It's hard.
All right. No problem. Serge, do you have any ideas? Now, it's very important.
I can't say exactly, but I think he meant here I will talk and act with you like equal, but with prudence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Okay, but carefully. Okay, well, here's where you have to put it into historical perspective. I think he probably said this at a very specific time. Of course, as we know, Lech Walesa was one of the leaders of Solidarity, and Solidarity was a union in the Soviet Union, a trade union, a workers' union within the Soviet Union, which of course the government didn't like at all. And so they broke the union, they arrested him. Lech Walesa was arrested several times before eventually he became the first president of Poland. So I think, all right, he's basically saying, I'm not going to bow down. I'm not going to subjugate myself, but I'm going to be careful. Probably a wise decision because he, putting it in historical perspective, he didn't want to spend his life in jail or, frankly, dead. So if anybody ever had to, he most certainly had to act with prudence or carefully. Okay, mostly it's a pretty straightforward quote, and mostly I wanted to get these concepts of on my knees and the word prudence, introduce them to you as English language speakers. So I'm going to continue now. So Serge, I think you got it, basically, in other words.
Yes.
Yeah, good job. No, thank you, actually. Ibec, let's take a look at this next one.
The supply of words in the world market is plentiful, but the demand is failing. Let deeds follow words now.
Uh-huh. Well, okay, Ibec. I kind of like this quote. Do you like this quote, and what do you think he's trying to say?
Honestly speaking, I didn't understand exactly, but probably he means that characteristic of no, I didn't understand exactly.
Okay, all right.
What's deeds? What's deeds?
Deeds. Okay, let deeds follow words. Deeds, actions. Okay.
So let's like action instead of talking, or what?
That's right. Actions as opposed to words. That's right. That's right. Let me try to give you an example of deeds. The hero in a fantasy story is always doing deeds of honor or brave deeds. Brave deeds, common collocation. Actions, whatever. He kills the giant or kills a dragon or whatever. These are deeds, actions.
Actually, I don't agree with Lech Walesa because it's opposite. That the demand is usually very big for words, and the supply as well is big because people like before the election they like these promises like we will raise your salary by 20% or something, things like that.
It's interesting, Matt. If somebody, by the way, I don't mind that Matt. You guys, all of you in the class, if you have something interesting to share, we don't have to go in order. You don't have to wait till I call on you. You can. This is an open discussion class. Feel free to add anything at any time. Actually, I kind of prefer that. What's interesting, an observation I want to make about what you just said. It's interesting that this quote is from the late 80s, late 80s. I'm talking like 89 or 1990, right when the internet was getting started. When I see this quote, I think of the internet, frankly, and the supply of words is plentiful. It sure is. There's so much more information and speaking, talking, commenting in the world more than ever. But this is the debatable part. What Matthew's taking the position that the demand is also high. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer here. There is no answer. It's interesting because I consider, is the demand falling, or are words falling on deaf ears? Okay, there's by the way, an idiom for you in English. Falling on deaf ears. There's a lot of words out there, that's for sure, but are they being heard is, I don't know, debatable, in my opinion. Debatable. Val, what do you think of this quote? Okay, I'm only talking about the first sentence. What do you think about this whole quote, Val?
Well, I think Lech is trying to say that um, the words are created according to things and acts of the world. But maybe nowadays we have so many words right now and not enough action. And if we don't act, we won't need the words anymore.
Very good. I vote for Val for president. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Very nice, Val. Okay, I kind of like that. I don't know what else to say about that. Max, you have any comments about this?
That reminds me of story about boy and wolf.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure everyone knows this story, but I don't know.
Yeah. The boy, okay, in English, just so you know, in English, it's a classic story. The Boy Who Cried Wolf is what we entitled it. So yeah, and cry wolf is now an idiom.
Nowadays, we don't know what is true and what is false. I mean, if on TV somebody says something, I don't know, it's true or it's false. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Putin,
really.
Max, if Putin says that's true, you know that.
Me? I'm not sure.
Funny. I was just thinking about Putin too. Is Putin dead? Where is he? He's missing.
It's hot topic.
It is a hot topic. And it's actually quite amusing going to
I
all.
crossed fingers. My fingers crossed.
Well, no comment on that, but just I will tell you, if you guys want to amuse yourself for a couple hours, read some of the articles online and read the comments. It's very funny. The creative, comical, comedic answers that people come up with as to where Putin is. They're very funny. Some people are very, very funny when they're being cynical and sarcastic. It's quite humorous. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, that's when Max was speaking about he doesn't know what words to believe, or that's the first thing I was thinking of, actually, because I was reading that earlier today, reading some of those articles. Just nonsense, craziness, really. But okay, but then we also have the second part of the sentence. Again, we have to remember this in historical context. At the time, people were saying this, people were saying that, and I guess Lech was. This is, I guess, a call to action in English. I could say this speech was a call to action, to actually do something and talk instead of talking about what done or could be done or might be done.
Was the sentence written wrote on the Cold War?
Yeah, that's right.
A call to action in that time is a dangerous thing to do.
Indeed, which Val brings. That's why the quote before, but with prudence. Exactly. Yes. It is. At that time, actions were definitely dangerous things to do. You're right. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody have any other thoughts about this quote, or can I move on here? Okay. This is interesting about the concept of communism. Max, since we left off at your turn, can you go ahead and read this quote?
Communism is a monopolistic system, economically and politically. The system suppresses individual initiative, and the 21st century is all about individualism and freedom. The development of technology supported this direction.
Okay, now to be fair, he said this in the 21st century. So long after that period of time when he became president, 90 to 95, this was something he has said, I don't know, sometime in the last 10 years. I'm not exactly sure when. But basically after the fact kind of observations. Clearly, because he's talking about the 21st century. Okay, there's an interesting concept here. Why I was sharing this is because what I noticed, the development of technology. My question really is, does technology and modern technology with smartphones and you guys devices, you guys know what I'm talking about, faster and faster internet and communications, do these types of technology actually, are they really all about individual and freedom? Do they support these directions towards individualism and freedom? That is,
I think no.
Sasha? Yeah.
I think no, technology right now is looking by us. They could collect all information, and I don't think that it's freedom. We can see a lot of photos which stole from phones from iClouds and put in internet.
Uh-huh. Well, that's somebody's freedom to steal your pictures. Sorry, that was terrible. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
the freedom is impossible.
Impossible. That's so
Only
Russian of you.
on the moon.
That's so Russian
So
of
Russian?
you to say that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm telling a joke now. Okay, I'm just telling a joke. Please don't be offended, all my Russian friends. I love Russians. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Well, okay. It's equally, so American to say everyone deserves freedom and freedom is possible for everyone, which is also probably unrealistic and crazy. But I don't know. Yeah, Serge.
Yes.
Yeah, you've a
I'm
comment. Yeah.
How about China?
How about China? Yeah.
In China, I suspect in China now communism is.
Yeah, well, don't tell that to a Chinese person, Serge, because they'll say there's no communism in China. They'll get angry at you, even though they only have one party and it's the Communist Party. For some reason, they insist that there's no communism doesn't exist in China. I do not understand this. I don't get it, but really, that's what they will tell you. Yeah. Well, okay, Serge, taking your idea and my confusion, does the system in China, does it suppress or ignite individual initiative, in your opinion, individualism?
I think the system, Chinese system, suppress anyway. But we can see that in China now, Uh, hard to say.
Yeah. It's a
We
challenge.
can see here two systems, capitalism and communism, together.
Yeah. I like to call it crapitalism.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah. Again, I'm joking. I'm full of it today. I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, you know, in a way, Americans, I will tell you, Americans are always fighting with each other because they feel that their system is moving more and more towards socialism, and some people resist that movement. Um, Meanwhile, people in China are arguing that the system is becoming more and more capitalistic, and they argue against that. I find it interesting that government social systems are actually getting closer and closer to each other. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but moving in that direction. Closer to each other, but not necessarily better. Yeah, okay. Back to, let me quickly welcome Ken.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Ken. Welcome.
Yes,
All right. Ken, I'm going to come back to you in just a second because I want to
okay.
ask somebody else. Maybe hey, Bear. Hey, Bear. Back to my original question after looking at this quote. In your opinion, does the development of technology support individualism and freedom? Yes, no, partly? What do you think? Hey, Bear, are you there? Connection problem? Okay. Hey, Bear, it seems to be maybe a technical problem there. So, Ken, I know you just entered the class, but I'm going to hit you with this difficult, and it is difficult. I don't know how I think about it, but with this very difficult opinion question, do you think this fast-paced and new, well, it's not that new, but development of technology supports individualism and freedom in the 21st century?
I think in one sense, yes, because we have more information on the internet easier than ever. In the communist kind, I don't know, communist or communist regime government, you know, so try to control the information, so to keep their power. So, but now, you know, not only the communist regime, dictatorship, trying to control the information is becoming difficult because of the technological developments.
Yeah.
And if the many people got more information, maybe more different idea appears in the world, so it could be related to the individual. Is that what you want to say?
Yeah, I think basically that's what he means to say. Sasha, earlier before you joined the class, would argue, and justly so, would bring the argument. He was talking about how individualism and freedom. He was talking about how things can be stolen, information can be stolen. To extrapolate on his idea, also, of course, the NSA, National Security Agency of the United States, famously, as Snowden exposed, has been collecting information about Americans and people from all over the world, actually. Now,
they manipulate it.
Yeah, but you know, right?
Kind of technology, yeah, also can be related to the hidden manipulation.
That's it, hidden manipulation. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to be careful about that.
Yeah. But of course, manipulation is always going to be hidden, so it's hard hard to be careful of something you can't see.
Yeah, the way of oppress the people in communism, past communism was obvious, but now
Yeah.
more hidden. Yeah, manipulation or
Yeah.
control.
Yep. All right.
I also think this term is so broad. I mean, for everyone is different meaning. Individualism and freedom. For one, it's, I don't know. For one, is
right.
To have internet connection is freedom, but
okay.
For another, bullshit.
Right. So the term freedom is subjective. Okay. If something is subjective, that means it depends on your perspective, where you are, how you see it, how old you are, your gender, your political affiliation, where you see something from, is how you define it. Max has a valid argument. I think the term freedom is quite subjective. Yeah. Okay. Any before we move on, any last thoughts about this quote before we look at another? Hello? Sorry?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, Heber. Hello.
Okay. Well, I would like give my opinion about the paragraph.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think that, I can see that in the chat you take that freedom is subjective, and but it depends. It depends on the society because development of the technology, it depends how the people can see because could be a good tool, but could be a good tool, but also could be a bad tool for the children or for some people that that they don't know what to do, or the technology can be transformed or break their minds. It depends because the market, the world market, is able to from for a I don't know how to explain that, but I think that for example, United States, China, Germany, and the countries development. It's correct to say that?
Yeah, the country's development. Yes.
The country's development I think that try to control the humanity with technology.
Okay. Maybe. All right. So, okay. We have different ideas about this, and that's fully what I expected when I posed the question. Okay. Because I think it goes both ways, just like all science. Hello, science makes good things and it makes awfully evil things at the same time. Science only works as a reflection of humanity. Humanity's a wonderful, benign thing and also very evil at the same time. So I don't understand why anyone would think science would be different, since science is merely a concept of the human mind. So of course, bad and good would be par for the course. Okay. Okay, this one's that was too weird and too specific. Which I have it twice. Oh, I like this quote. I want to share this one before we go. I like this because I can relate to it. Ibeck, you're back. Ibeck, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Great. Can you read this one for us?
Okay, I'm lazy, but it's lazy people who invented the wheel and the bicycle because they didn't like walking or carrying things.
Ha! What do you think of that?
all lazy people invented for people something more less so you need to they invented things which you don't need to do long, and with that things you could do anything faster, and all of this invented lazy people, yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, I don't know if he's being a little bit funny, but yeah. Um, the idea of convenience, you know, which we use that word all the time, a convenience store, something's convenient, basically means it saves you time and effort. That's all that means. If something's convenient, it saves you time and effort. So I guess he's saying that inventions are a matter of creating convenience, which I don't know if it's absolutely true. I mean, really. Matthew, what do you think of this? What do you think of this quote?
Well, it could be like he says, if a person. So basically, I think we can extrapolate that people that are not satisfied with something, they change something in their surroundings.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe he's playing fast and loose with the word lazy. Maybe he doesn't really mean lazy.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm thinking out loud.
Maybe he used it as an excuse.
As an excuse? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, let me tell you a quote, and you tell me what does that mean. Stay hungry, stay foolish. What does that mean? What's the meaning of the quote? And who said that?
Okay, let me think about this a second. Stay hungry in English parlance.
Stay foolish.
Yeah, in stay hungry. For English, I have to explain this because the other students may definitely not understand this. The concept of stay hungry means stay wanting to know more, learn more, do more. And stay foolish. Don't be stuck in rigid forms of doing things. Do things in crazy ways. So maintain your creativity. Stay ambitious, stay creative is how I would interpret that in another way.
Okay, thanks for the explanation.
Sure. And Val and Ken seem to think it's Steve Jobs, so I'm going to be lazy and go along with them.
You should watch that. She posted, I think, the link to his speech. Very interesting speech, like 10 minutes or something.
Okay. I think I saw that on the internet today, but I didn't have time to go to it before class. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Matthew, Val, Ken, all of you. All right. That's interesting and definitely related to what we're looking at right now. Definitely interesting. Okay. Anybody have anything else to say about this Lech Walesa quote about being lazy? The least, I think it kind of shows he has a sense of humor, or something of a sense of humor. Okay. Val, can you read this next one?
Okay. It is hardly possible to build anything if frustration, bitterness, or a mood of helplessness prevail.
Okay. Bitterness.
Bitterness.
Okay, it's the ness with bitter. Do you know what that means, Val? If somebody's bitter?
No, I know. It's when someone is like frustrated and have something on the mind or is making them sad and in a bad mood.
Yeah, that's right. And usually, if someone is bitter, we often co-locate it with bitter about. He's bitter about being passed over for promotion. So when somebody dwells on, so when somebody dwells on a particular situation or the way somebody treated them, a very specific thing they're angry about, we say they're bitter. Or very often bitter about his divorce. He's bitter about not getting the promotion. Stuff like that. Okay, and then helplessness. I know, a lot of SSS. Helplessness. Okay, so Val, what do you think of this? What? You think pass?
Well, no, I was thinking about that. I was trying to figure out what I really think about this. I guess maybe frustration is not the most creative help for creativity.
Yeah, I guess not.
I agree, Black.
Yeah. Hard to be creative when you have these feelings. Kind of ridiculous. All right. Open to the class. Anybody have any comments about this, or maybe want to comment about why do you think he was saying this? Anybody? Any comments? Okay, we've only got minutes left, and I need to share. I need to share this with you, just because I like Lech Walesa for saying this. Ken, can you go ahead and read this?
Okay, I'm a man of faith. I only fear God and my wife sometimes.
Heh. Yeah, you're not married, Ken, so you don't get it. Any married gentlemen in here? You guys all single? Oh, Max is married. All right. Who do you fear more, God or your wife? Or neither? Okay. I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. Let me see if I can find one more to go out on. Okay. All right. Well, here's words of wisdom, I suppose, which kind of best describes his progress. It says a lot about Lech Walesa. Okay. Ibek, can you read this one for us?
Yes. When I recall my own path of life, I cannot but speak of violence, hatred, and lies. A lesson drawn from such experiences, however, was that we can effectively oppose violence only if we ourselves do not resort to it.
Okay. I guess the key of this quote is the ending. Do you believe that, Ibek? Can you only oppose violence if you do not resort to violence? Is that reasonable? Some people would say the opposite. The only way to fight violence is with violence. Fight fire with fire, as the expression goes.
What is resort? What does it mean?
Sorry?
What does resort means?
Okay, good question. Here it's a verb. Obviously, do not resort. Okay. Okay, you resort to something, you do it. It's to do something, but to do it as a secondary or final option. So you resort to violence, you do it as a second or third or fourth option. Okay, for example, let me put it in more concrete terms, Val. We wanted to take a trip to another city in our country, but there was a storm, so the planes weren't flying, and we had to resort to taking a bus. Okay, our last resort was to rent a car. Like that. So take an option, but a secondary option or tertiary or whatever. All right. So, well, open question. We've only got a minute left. Lech seems to think we can effectively oppose violence only if we do not resort to it. Arguable. Is he right? Is he wrong? Or is it case by case? Oh, we may never know because my time is up. Well, think about that one. A little food for thought for you. Pardon me. Excuse me. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Everyone, enjoy your weekend. Take care, and thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and opinions.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.